On the road again? No, not quite on the road again. In the garage again. Hi, welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. Peter Clayton's behind the camera. I'm Jeremy Cordeaux. Good to be with you. Getting close to Christmas. Getting the spirit, Pete?
Well, I'm trying to.
Yeah, it's out there somewhere. I don't know, maybe it's just that we're getting older, but it just seems to me that it kind of diminishes every year, little by little somehow. 65 years of wonderful SA Brewery Christmas lights. I'm talking to you from Adelaide, and you may never have seen this, but down there at Theberton, by the river, the Torrens, the tradition has actually outlived the brewery. I don't know, well, the brewery's gone, I don't know where, God knows where, corporate raiders, who knows. But we keep this precious little part of our wonderful Christmas tradition here in Adelaide, and I'm glad we did. And speaking of Christmas, Woolworths, ladies and gentlemen, have not learned a thing. Oh, somebody said that they are going to sell Christmas, not Christmas, Australia Day merchandise. I don't know if their heart's in it or not. I don't know. I don't know what their thinking is. But for the festive season, they are selling non-binary gingerbread, not men, people. Gingerbread people. Pete?
Oh, look, it's getting worse day by day.
What are they trying to do? What's the problem they're trying to fix? We could run a separate podcast, on that subject. What is the problem these people are trying to fix?
Now, yes, can I just say something?
Of course.
I noticed, and I haven't had a chance to talk to you. I was watching Question Time.
Yeah.
You know how they would say, Mr. Speaker?
Yes.
Not anymore. Speaker.
Oh, yeah, well. What? There are men and there are women.
Not
Suck
anymore.
it up, sunshine. That's the way it is. Some people want to, and bless their hearts, they can live outside those parameters. It's fine. But don't change the world. Interesting, or more importantly, curious, we currently have more than 3,000 missing persons in Australia. I don't know how that could be. How do people just disappear? Why do some people choose to disappear? I guess behind every one of those stories, there's a story. There was a great radio serial many years ago, would have been in the 50s, called The Missing Persons Bureau. I don't know if you ever heard it. One show a week. And over the years, it was responsible for finding thousands of people. Quite a wonderful public service, but a great piece of entertainment as well. I don't know if you remember it. It was many years ago, but a good idea. A lot of good ideas could be brought back. The federal government has squibbed the crucial vote on getting rid of online gambling advertising, lobbied heavily by the media, no doubt. We need the money. Look, I'm sure you do. But so too do we, the people. Like poker machines, gambling advertising should never have been allowed in the first place. We'll see where it goes. Probably nothing, because you can imagine coming up to an election, the government doesn't want to stir up the media negatively. So much for their community responsibility, I suppose. Making social media safe for our kids. Now, a first-class attempt this was at social engineering. Social media, social engineering. This legislation was aimed at the people running the media platforms. You know, the Facebook. We're on Facebook. We love them dearly. TikTok. Who else is there, Pete? There was X, or what
Yes,
it was.
so many of them, yes.
Yeah, Snapchat was another one.
Yes.
No one could explain just how this was going to work. The penalties, draconian. A fine of $50 million. Now, it's a great idea to want to keep our children safe, and I applaud that. There is the need when you see that with kids, in the last 10 years, there's been an 80% increase in mental illness, mostly teenage girls. I don't know how influential this would be, but rather than controlling the platforms, why not control the kids? Let parents parent. Let teachers go back to teaching and guiding. I think it's called discipline. A lot of these problems coincide with the left-wing social engineering that stripped parents and teachers of their authority. Parents became their children's best friend. Teachers became colleagues instead of, well, the students became colleagues instead of students. On first-name terms with our teachers. God, that would never have happened in my day when the whole thing actually worked. It's not Meta's job to keep my children safe. It's my job. Leave me alone to do my job. And with this, and you know what I think about it, we've talked about it several times here in the Court of Public Opinion and around the dining room table on a Friday, live streaming, jeremycordeaux.com, 3 hours. This misinformation and disinformation bill, the government has quite sensibly withdrawn it. I'm tempted to say for now, because they don't drop their ideology, they put it off. Poorly designed, badly explained, and just plain dangerous. Like The Voice, this government is going down the road of North Korea. Narrow-minded, straight-jacketed thinking. It's our way or it's the highway. Concentrating on fixing problems that don't exist. Becoming an outlier. The only country in the world to want to control social media. The only country to want to censor social media. The only country in the world to have an NDIS. The nonsense over nuclear power. Yes to nuclear submarines, but no to clean, cheap power. Their energy policy is generally just crazy. Yes to exporting our coal and gas and uranium, but banning our use of these resources. The misinformation and disinformation bill, who the hell has one of those? Oh, yeah, probably North Korea. Pete?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably North Korea, I would think. Our Premier, Peter Malinauskas, went off to Azerbaijan to argue our case to get the 2027 COP. I still don't know what COP stands for. COP. No idea. Anyway, he said it would be great for the state. Makes the gather round look weak, he said on Channel 7 the other night. 40 to 50,000 people will come. Hotels will be bulging. Restaurants will be overflowing. Why? Oh, yeah. They travel around the world every year, 40,000 of them, 40,000 delegates. Can you imagine that? They're travelling around the world to save the planet from pollution. Amazing, the hypocrisy, and amazing that the media allows them to get away with that hypocrisy. Private jets, total crap. It's not a COP, it's crap. I don't mind the Premier going on the gravy train on behalf of the state and doing something that's good for the cash registers of our city. But who the hell are these climate activists trying to fool? Not me. And I hope not you. I told you last week that this COP29 was a financial COP. Oh, a bit different from the others. This is the crunch, getting down to the nitty-gritty. The real purpose of all this climate change nonsense, the redistribution of wealth, socialism, communism, taking money from the rich countries and giving to the poor countries, which of course is just madness. Madness. These so-called poor countries are they poor because of what they are and where they are? Are they poor because of corruption and waste and crime, poor governance, poor judgment, bad luck? Oh yeah, we can all get bad luck. Most of these countries are run by tin-pot despot dictators. Fact. A lot of them are in Africa, where they will have a coup every other week. Can't afford to feed themselves and their people, but never a problem buying another load of Kalashnikovs, AK-47s, the choice of weapon of most of these people. Their problems have little to do with climate, a lot to do with who they are and what they do. Anyway, they all got up and staged a walkout. $250 billion a year just wasn't enough. They never went on to explain just exactly what they were going to do with the money. Well, they never have in the past, so I suppose why should they think they have to now? What these delegates, if I can call them that, what these delegates wanted was Australian money, $2 trillion a year. They have settled for some $460 billion a year. Are we barking mad? Why would we give them anything? Or if you did, but then again, we give them foreign aid. I don't know what our bill is. I think it's something like $4 billion a year. But if we did give them this money, why not make it conditional? Tie it to democratic reform, human rights, girls and women to be allowed an education, equal rights for women, no more FMG, female genital mutilation. In Africa you'd have a problem trying to stop that. Do you know just how bad some of these third world countries are? They are not third world countries because of the weather. This whole COP thing is a giant shakedown, extortion, sponsored, of course, by the United Nations. It's a con. No wonder America and others, I'm not exactly sure how many, just didn't turn up this time. Oh, the Biden administration did, but what was the point of that? They have no clout, no time left on the clock. You won't see Trump turning up there next year. And can somebody tell me, as Saudi Arabia, China, and India, Pakistan, regard themselves as third world or emerging economies, will we be paying them compensation while they are causing the problem that all of this is trying to fix? Do you see how laughable this whole thing is? These people are the biggest emitters on the planet, but will no doubt make the biggest claim on this pool of money. The whole thing is totally insane. And we, no, not we, that poor excuse for a parliamentarian, Chris Bowen, gave $50 million of your money and my money towards this loss and damage fund, which nobody has been asked to demonstrate. Where is the loss? Where is the damage? Chris Bowen made us the 6th biggest contributor to this nonsense. Why are we concerned? Why are we involved, let alone financially responsible, for things we have nothing to do with? The first thing we should do is to stop foreign aid to all of these con artists. The second thing we should do is to get rid of this Labor government, who seems to be wedded to this nonsense, not representing us. No, 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 no. They were hired, if that's the word, they were elected to look after Australia. They see their role as looking after the world, strutting the stage. Have I got any time?
Well, I like it when you're fired up, so yes, keep going.
Maybe I can call on this government, not that they talk to me, but not only this government, but following governments, to put an end to deficit budgeting. I don't know if you know what deficit budgeting is. This is where, if you don't spend the money in your departmental budget, you will lose it. You will lose it and not be given that amount next time around. They will cut your budget. So what happens? A lot of useless, wasteful spending for absolutely no reason, no gain, no benefit. All governments do it, and it bloody well should stop. Tomorrow I want to talk to you about this Bali 9 thing. Well, it's not quite 9 now, it's been significantly reduced. I want to talk to you about that. A lot of things to talk about, and don't forget our show on Friday, 9 o'clock until 12, live streaming, jeremycordeaux.com, the website to which you can go right now. And coming up, our 2 great sponsors. I'll tell you a little bit more about the Rising Sun Inn tomorrow, but Elder Fine Art. Now, this is not their new catalogue. I haven't been sent it yet, but it's coming out this week. It's going to be mailed out this week. Jim Elder's last big auction for the year. He has about 4 or 5, and they are really quite something. I mean, the whole, the actual, I don't know if you can see it, but the whole catalogue is indeed in itself a work of art. But if you have, and he's always looking for paintings of importance, distinction, Australian, international works of art. If you have anything that you have had doubts about and you've thought to yourself, maybe this is worth a lot of money. Look, believe me, if you saw that story during the week where this guy, I can't think what his name is, I better not call him a con artist, a banana stuck on a piece of board with some duct tape, sold for $9 million. Sold by Sotheby's very, very reputable auction house. Art, I don't know. But I tell you what, Jim Elder does. We talked to him last Friday about it. He thought it was very funny. I asked him, what would you do if somebody came through the door of your gallery on Melbourne Street, North Adelaide, and said, I've got a banana. Oh, it's got to be rotten in a week. But here it is, and I think it's worth a lot of money. What would you tell him? He said, bugger off. Look, it's a strange world, isn't it? I like paintings to look like paintings. Art to look like something I couldn't do. Have a talk to Jim Elder, Jim and Helen, on 8267 2869. Or you can go to his website, which is info at elderfineart, all one word, .com.au. Our wonderful sponsors, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the 26th of November, let's see, 1948, the first Polaroid camera. Wow, 1948. Golly. First Polaroid camera sold for $89.75 in Boston at the Jordan Marsh department store. The land camera model 95 becomes the prototype for all Polaroid land cameras for the next 15 years. The supersonic airplane, the Concorde, makes its last ever flight, returning to Bristol, England on this day in 2003. English archaeologist Howard Carter opens Tutankhamun's virtually intact tomb in Egypt on this day in 1922. The Japanese naval carrier force left its base and moves east towards Pearl Harbor on this day in 1941. Tina Turner, American singer. Ike and Tina, Proud Mary. What's love got to do with it? Born in Nutbush, Tennessee. Did you know that, Pete?
Yes, I did.
You did? Is there a place really called Nutbush? Nutbush, Tennessee. 62, that was. Her real name is Anna Mae Bullock. 23. She marries Ike. He was 31. It was on her birthday, too. They married in Tijuana, Mexico. Divorced in 87. First National Thanksgiving. First National Thanksgiving in America, 1789. The world's greatest robbery. On this day in 1983, £26 million sterling worth of gold, diamonds and cash stolen from Brink's Map Warehouse, Heathrow Airport, England. Doesn't tell me if they got away with it or ever got it back. Random House buys former US President Richard Nixon's memoirs for $3 million. Who said crime doesn't pay? 2022, 2,500 people posed naked for a photographer. His name was Spencer Tunnick on Australia's Bondi Beach to raise awareness for skin cancer. I'm missing something here. So you take off all your clothes on Bondi Beach to raise awareness for... shouldn't they be all clothed? It wouldn't quite be the same, would it, Pete? No. Wouldn't. No, absolutely. Refrigerated road cars or rail cars were patented by J.B. Sutherland of Detroit in 1867. Happy birthday to Robert Goulet, born 1933 in Massachusetts. American Tony and Grammy award-winning stage and screen star. Camelot, If Ever I Would Leave You. If ever I would leave you. General Motors announces it will close 5 factories in North America, cutting 14,000 jobs. 2018 the year. Charles M. Schulz, American cartoonist, Peanuts, born in Minneapolis in 1922. And Willis Carrier, American engineer, developer of the modern air conditioning system, was born in New York in 1876. And one more, David, I think it's Bache, B-A-C-H-E, I don't know the name. British car designer. He designed the Rover, which is one of my all-time favourite cars. He dies at just 69 on this day in 1994. But the Rover car went back to the certainly the 1930s. So no, I might check that up. Anyway, thank you very much for viewing the Court of Public Opinion, ladies and gentlemen. I love your company, and I hope you'll join us tomorrow when Peter Clayton and I will be back. I'm Jeremy Cordeaux, and the Court of Public Opinion will again be in session. Believe in yourself, and goodbye for now.